just received your brand new Puggle 2 and you can't wait to get started and sew on it. Let's go through how to set up your machine for the very first time. Firstly, take your machine and its accessories out of the box. We do have an in-depth video on everything that comes in the box, so check that out as well, and make sure you keep your box and your protective packaging. Plug one end of your power adapter into the back of your machine and the other into a power point. Make sure your machine is on a sturdy surface and won't move whilst you're sewing. Next, plug in your foot control to the back of the machine next to the power adapter. Your machine should already have the standard zigzag foot attached, but if it is not, please go ahead and attach that. Our next step is to wind and insert the bobbin. Your machine does come with a pre-wound bobbin which you can use, but eventually you're going to need to wind your own, so here's how you do it. First, place your desired thread onto the spool pin at the top of the machine. Grab the end of your thread and loop it around the bobbin winder thread guide. Pass the thread through the hole on top of the bobbin and place the bobbin onto the spindle. Hold the thread in one hand and push the spindle to the right. Now you can press on your foot control or move your speed slider to start winding. After a few revolutions, stop and trim the thread back to the bobbin and continue winding. Once you've reached your desired amount of thread on your bobbin, or when the bobbin starts slowing down, take your foot off the foot control or push the speed slider to the stop position. Cut the thread, move the spindle to the left to disengage bobbin winding mode and remove the bobbin from the spindle. Now that you have a wound bobbin, our next step is to insert it into the bobbin case. Turn the hand wheel anti-clockwise until the needle is up and the take-up lever is in the highest position possible. Then raise the presser foot using the lever at the back of the machine. Remove the bobbin cover by sliding it forward and off the machine. Make sure before you insert the bobbin that the thread is coming out anti-clockwise. Place the wound bobbin into the holder and pull the thread out about 15 centimeters. Pass the end of the thread from right to left through the tension spring. Then pull the thread out towards the back of the machine and leave about a 15 centimeter tail. Now you can replace the bobbin cover. After winding and inserting your bobbin, the next step is to thread your machine. Again, make sure your needle is up and the take-up lever is in the highest position possible. Then raise the presser foot. Take the end of your thread and loop it through the thread guide. Bring the thread down through the thread regulator, pass the thread around the bottom and bring it back up to the top. Once the thread is back at the top, pull the thread from right to left to slip it into the hook of the take-up lever. Then bring it back down to the needle shank and needle. With two hands, insert the thread into the thread guide on the needle holder before finally threading the eye of the needle. From here, all you need to do is bring the lower thread up. Make sure that you've wound and inserted your bobbin before this next step. With the presser foot still raised, hold the upper thread in your left hand, then turn the hand wheel anti-clockwise so that the needle dips down into the bobbin case and comes back up to its highest position. Now you can pull on the upper thread slightly until a little loop is formed from the lower thread. Grab the loop and pull gently until the end of the lower thread comes out. Tuck both threads under your presser foot and place them at the back of your machine. Once you've wound your bobbin and threaded your machine, you can choose a stitch from the stitch dial. Make sure that your needle is up and your take-up lever is in the highest position possible before turning the stitch dial. Also make sure your tension is sitting between 3 to 4 as this is the standard tension for sewing. Grab 2 pieces of your lightweight woven fabric and place them under the presser foot. Lower the presser foot and press down on the foot control to start sewing. If you prefer not to use the foot control, you can use the slider at the bottom right of the machine to start and stop. If you want to reverse stitch, simply pull down on the vertical slider on the front of the machine while stitching to engage the reverse stitch, and then release the slider to re-engage normal sewing mode. And it's as easy as that. Now you should be ready to stitch out your very first item on your brand new Puggle 2.